on the night.
Yo, what is going on, you Slackerz? It's your boy Slackerz Gaming coming at you again with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and this time I figured that I would be doing my own take on at least what I would personally like to see on the upcoming September 2017 ban list. And up first is, let's get this out of the way, Maxie. Now, the argument going around is either Maxie should be at 0, it should be banned, or it should be unlimited at 3. And originally I was at the put Maxie back at 3, but I believe what I would like to see, and I think what would be fair for the game at least, would be putting Maxie to 0, banning this card because it's just such a ridiculous card. It stops your opponents from, you drop this on them and now they gotta rethink their whole turn. Do they want to go off? Most likely not, because they don't want to give you all those cards that you're going to end up drawing and give them so much advantage. And yeah, Maxie, I believe I'm on the side that Maxie needs to go to 0. This card should be banned. I still love it. It's one of my favorite cards, but I do believe this card needs to be banned. So up next is going to be Zodiacs. You all know, we all know Zodiacs are going to get hit. They need to get hit hard. Just the whole concept of one card exceeds is just ridiculous. So up first, Trident. I'm sorry. I like the artwork on Trident. I do. But just popping a card on your opponent's turn is just ridiculous. It's one card. It's Trident. I'm sorry. There's not much that needs to be said. Trident, you need to go. So yeah, Trident, goodbye. And that leads us to Zodiac, Broad Bull. We all know Broad Bull. Detach 1, search out a Beast Warrior. Yeah. Just the insane plays that this thing can just open up for Zodiacs just in general, let alone any other whatever Beast Warrior decks might come out in the future. This card needs to go. It's +1. It's so easy to get out. It's ridiculous. So Broad Bull, I'm sorry, but you need to go as well. So yeah, that will lead us to, in my opinion, the last Zodiac card that needs to get hit. Zodiac Barrage. Yeah, we all knew this one. It's also banned in the OCG along with Trident and Broad Bull because they hit the problem as soon as it happens, which I really respect about that over there. And I get it. It's a game. You got to make money off the cards too. So TCG, they let them hang around to make money off them, which is fine. I get it. They're a business. They got to make their money. But it's time. Barrage needs to go. It's a combo card or combo extender. It's just it extends your plays. All that nonsense. It's too powerful. You don't even have to pop itself. Like, if you have this, and of course we all know, like 10 key, play the 10 key, search out whatever, play Barrage. Barrage pops the 10 key. Now you still have Barrage for next turn. It's just, it's time. Zodiacs, you got to get hit. So, yeah, Barrage also banned, in my opinion. So, let me think. I think I only have one other card left on the banned portion of my list, which is... Now on to the limited portion of the list, cards that I believe, keep in mind again, I'm going to probably stress this a few times throughout the video, but this is my, oh cool, there's Clash of Clans, nice. But yeah, this is my personal opinion for the list that I would like to see done. So Gofu, I believe, should go to 1, just like it did in the OCG. This card is very good. It is. I know there's not a lot that this card can really do. I mean, sure, you got if you have it in your opening hand, special it, use one of its tokens to go into Link Spider, and then continue plays from there. I guess this card will be a problem in future formats once more Link monsters come out. And if it becomes more of a problem, ban it in the future. I don't believe it needs to be banned quite yet, but at least put it to 1 right now. And I think 1 is the perfect spot for this card on the list. at least for now. So, yeah, I don't think it will be too big of a problem if it sits at just 1. Sure, people might still try to splash this into decks anyway, but hey, if they want to, let them do it. And like I said, if it becomes a problem, ban it later on. You know, we'll just see what happens with this card. So yeah, I believe Gofu needs to go to 1 as of right now. Up next for the limited portion is, of course, Masterpiece. I don't really believe this card needs to be outright banned, but putting it to 1 definitely will hinder its ability, because you're going to get it out the first time, you're going to tribute summon it, and if you get rid of it, if you can attack over it or destroy it by whatever means that you can, Masterpiece is gone then, and that's the only one. So it's a problem, but you can still kind of get over it. So I don't believe it needs to be banned. Sure, people say this is a better Towers, and for all intents and purposes, it kind of is. Sure, Towers is banned, but I don't know. Maybe Towers could even make a comeback to 1. I think. I don't think it would be running that much. Like, it wouldn't be a big of a rampage if Towers came back to it. But this isn't about Towers. It's about Masterpiece. Masterpiece can, I believe, just go down to 1 for right now. Let it have its playability. I know it's still a fairly new card. It's only, like 1 set old, so, I mean, that's no excuse. If it's a broken card, you need to be hit in some form or capacity. So, Masterpiece, I believe, to go to 1. That way, you could still play True Draco, or True Draco, whatever you want to call it. You could still play that version of the deck, Turbo, Masterpiece with Card of Demise and all that stuff. But Masterpiece going to 1, I think, is just fine for right now. So, up next will be Psy-Frame Lord Omega. Now, we all know, or if you don't know, you can, even if this is the first monster that you bring out of your extra deck, you can use his effect, banish himself, but when he comes back, instead of going to that extra monster zone, he now goes to your main monster zones. So it still frees up your extra monster zone for your next turn, or whatever, to bring out another Omega, and you can just do like the little hand loop or whatever. So I think Omega does need to be hit. It is more accessible for everybody now, so thanks to, the Battle of Legends Light's Revenge pack. But I think Omega is a problem. Maybe not as big of a problem as some other cards on the list, but Omega, in my opinion at least, Omega should go to 1, and I think that would be plenty fine right where it's at. So, yeah, Omega, you're going to 1, at least in my book. And up next, we're going to have Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. Now, we all know this just got a reprint in the Battle of Legends pack. I think going to 1 actually wouldn't be that big of a problem for it. I think there's a lot of people that kind of agree with that. This card can come back to 1. It probably won't be as big of a problem as it was before. This card was very, very good, and there's a reason it got banned. But I think with the recent reprint, maybe Konami was tipping their hand a little bit, saying, you know what, this card can come back, and perhaps it does. And in my book, I think it could definitely come back to 1. I don't feel it would be a huge problem, so letting this card sit at 1 is totally fine with me, and I think a lot of other people really feel this way about it. So yeah, Exciton Knight, you're coming back to 1, buddy. And up next for the limited list is Terraforming. Yes, I think Terraforming needs to go to 1. I know OCG put this card to 2, but it's just a generic search any field spell, and with the way field spells have gotten, like in terms of power wise and how good they really are now, like Diagram, Magical Meltdown, tons of other stuff, with the way that's becoming, and especially there's a new card coming up, and I think it's Circuit Break. There's a trap card. I can't remember the name of it. I probably should have looked that up. But there's a new trap card coming up that's basically a better Terraforming. Sure, you got to set it still, but it's basically a better Terraforming. And I think just in general, for Terraforming to be able to search out any generic field spell, this card should go to 1, and it would be fine at 1. That way you're not basically you wouldn't be running like 6 field spells. You know, whatever your 3 field spells for your deck, if it does run any, and then 3 terraforming. That's 6 field spells right there, and hitting this card to 1, I think, is absolutely fine. I think a lot of people would agree with that. Maybe putting it to 2, some people would argue, but for my list, because, you know, it's my video, so this is my opinion of the card. Terraforming should go to 1, and I think it'd be fine right where it would be at 1 then. So, yep, Terraforming, you're going to 1. All right. The last card for the limited list is going to be Solem Strike. Now, I kind of went back and forth on this one. You know, does Strike really need to be hit? No, but because I think it's a pretty balanced card for the most part. To be honest, maybe I would have put this at 2, but I kind of think with the way that the list is going to come out, Strike is going to go to 1. Same thing that they did with Warning, even though I think Warning went from 3 to 2 to 1, but I think Strike will go to 1, and it doesn't need to, but I think it's going to. That's the reason I have it at 1 on my list. If it goes to 2, that's fine. If it stays at 3, that's perfectly fine with me as well. But for my list, I have Strike going to 1. Now, of course, you still got Solemn Scolding that's out there. That's not hit at all, and I don't really think it needs to be. But that could be another one that could end up kind of replacing, so to speak, another Strike. So you could end up doing like a 1-1-1 with Warning, Strike, and Scolding for your deck, trap-wise. And I think that would be very viable too. But so anyway, Strike I think is going to go to 1. They always do this with a very popular Solemn counter trap card. So I think Strike's going to 1. And that's pretty much going to round out the limited portion of the list. So up next is going to be the semi-limited, which is going to start off with Black Luster Soldier, Envoy the Beginning. Now I know this did go to 3 in the OCG, but I think over here in the TCG, if it does come back, I think it'll probably kind of will work its way up, you know, off the limited list. So I think if it does, it's going to go to 2 at first, and then if it's still not a problem, then it will go to 3 later on. But wow, who would have ever thought Black Luster Soldier, Envoy the Beginning would not only just not be banned, but let alone could be going to 2 or 3. I mean, that's crazy. I've been playing this game since, you know, day 1, and, you know, this card was broken for the longest time, and to see this possibly move up to more copies basically in the deck that's insane to me. So I think Black Luster Soldier should come back, should bump it up at least to 2 for right now. See how that does. If there's some sort of broken chaos deck, you know, put it back down to 1, or if it just doesn't do anything, bump it to 3 and let people have fun with it, because Black Luster Soldier is one of the most, I think, in my opinion, iconic cards in the game that we have today. So, yep, BLS, you're going to 2 for now. Up next is going to be Dragonic Diagram. Yes, I do have this in the semi-limited list, so this card I think should go to 2, only because I have Terraforming hit to 1, so it won't. Having this card at 2 isn't. I don't think it's that big of a deal, because it's still a very powerful card. Don't get me wrong, that it is. The way that this can combo with stuff, you know, with the True Kings or True Dracos, or there's that Samurai version that's coming out. Popping that new tuner, what's his name? Fuma, I think it is. This card does have a lot of pretty good synergy with some stuff, and it's a good combo combo starter and play extender and that kind of stuff. But I think with Terraforming at 1, I would be fine with having Dragonic Diagram at 2 for now. If it goes to 1 as well with Terraforming, that's fine with me too. But I think Terraforming at 1, Diagram at 2 doesn't make this card as well. It doesn't make it as feared, I guess, because you won't be seeing it as much. But yeah, I have Diagram at 2, so I think Diagram at 2, Terraforming at 1, perfect. And let's see how it goes at that, if that actually does happen. So yep, Diagram, you're going to 2 for right now. And now on to the unlimited list, and we're gonna start things off with Thunder King Ryo. Thunder King, it's still a great card. It really is, but does it need to be hit at 1 or 2? I don't think so. With the game state the way it is, and your normal summon being so important, not many decks are just gonna like throw a Thunder King into the main deck anyway. It's more for like kind of rogue, stun, anti-meta kind of decks. So Thunder King can go to 3 again. Let it be free. Let it have its fun. This isn't really a problem. Thunder King, you can go to 3, man. Up next is Witch of the Black Forest. Same thing with kind of Thunder King there. Since your normal summon is so important, is anybody really going to run this card? Yes, I do have it at 3, unlimited. Is anybody really going to run this card at 3? Going to waste your normal summon on Witch of the Black Forest. Hopefully it gets destroyed and then you get to search. No, this card can go to 3. Sangin got its errata and that's at 3 and that's not doing anything. I think Witch of the Black Forest, if it wants to come back to 1 first to see if it does anything, that's fine. But this card, it can go to 3. It's not going to... I don't see this card doing any sort of damage in the meta at all. So, which you can come back to 3. And the very last card that I have on my entire list is Bokeh Moon. Bokeh Moon, it's about time. This card does not need to be at 1. Sure, it's kind of a play disruptor, but it's time you come back to 3. It's either, in my opinion, I chose Book, but if they wanted to go with what's the trap card? Compulse. If they wanted to bring Compulse back to 3 as well, or Bokeh Moon or Compulse going to 3 is totally fine with me. I think either one of those 2 cards will at least get bumped up in some sort of capacity. So Bokeh Moon or Compulse to 3 is fine. I don't really see it being that much of a problem. I could be wrong, but isn't Book at 3 in the OCG? And I don't think it's really a problem over there, but hey, that's over there, we're over here. So yeah, Bokeh Moon, you can go to 3. It's about time. Let us have our book back, okay? So that's pretty much gonna wrap up my little kind of ban list prediction sort of video here. And I don't know, let me know in the comments what you guys' thoughts are about my list. Is there anything that I missed that you think is either going to be banned or limited or hit in some sort of capacity? Let me know down in the comments. And that's going to pretty much wrap up this video. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next upload. Peace out, everybody.